So the folks that work for the government are still not going into work, which is probably a good thing for you depending on what you believe. But we're getting a lot of questions right now about gold as an investment. Let me first say right off the bat, I don't know. I don't know if gold is a good investment for you, but there's a few things that I want you to consider. So in about 2 minutes, I want to explain what a hedge actually is in your portfolio. I'll explain how gold has historically performed during times such as these, and then we'll compare it to the S&P 500 and owning the stock market versus gold. A lot of people view gold as a hedge against wars, a hedge against inflation, a hedge against government shutdowns. And essentially all a hedge does is offset risk in your portfolio. So ideally you would have an asset in your portfolio, like gold for instance, that behaves differently than the S&P or another investment inside of your portfolio. And the question is gold actually this? So let's take a look at 3 of the most recent crises that I can find here and see how gold did. So let's go all the way back to 2008 and the great financial crisis. From about 2007 through 2009 actually, gold was up about 25 to 30%, all while stocks dropped during this time. If we fast forward to COVID-19 and 2020, you'll see that gold was up about 25% while the S&P was down 16% in 2020. And then finally, let's move to 2022, which was a really bad year for the stock market. And at the same time, you had Russia and Ukraine war break out and several geopolitical tensions. And you'll find that gold was relatively flat. It was about 0.4% that year, but the S&P was down almost 24% that year. So this does potentially show that gold can help in some ways, but not always. Ultimately, something I do want to show you, however, is that over longer periods of time, over decades, and as we go further along, you'll see that stocks greatly outperform gold. And that really just gets to the heart of the question is, what do you view gold as? If you just view it as a small portion of your investment portfolio that's designed to offset and hedge risk inside of your portfolio, maybe it is a good investment for you. But if you are going to compare it to the stock market as a whole, you can see it's grossly underperforming that. So ultimately, you probably should view gold as a potential stability add to your portfolio and not a wealth creator. So the next time you see a commercial on Fox News or CNBC and someone saying, oh my gosh, what if the world ends tomorrow? You need to buy gold for your portfolio. Let me just say, you're gonna have much bigger problems on your hands than how your portfolio is performing if that were to occur. So I would rather focus on long-term portfolio goals than anything about a day-to-day returns of gold or comparing it to the S&P, frankly.